Not to say that as Canadians are the problem.
Yeah. I'm not saying Canadians are the problem. I'm just saying when you're half British and you're half French, you don't know which side is up.
Moving on. I think we can both agree what our favorite match of the year so far has been. We're in total agreement. It's Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch for the NXT Women's Championship.
This match is going to go down, and this is going to be one of those... This match will go down on Hall of Fame DVDs.
I was not expecting...
This match, when Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch get into the Hall of Fame in 2020-something.
Yeah. Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, definitely... This match, I was not expecting to be as great as it was, but it definitely... It went far beyond my expectations. I love the whole angle, the psychology of everything in it, and the whole match with them just trying to break each other's arms. What more can you possibly ask for? And
absolutely nothing else. Oh my God! Folks, if you're under 18, I don't know what you're doing listening to our show, but if you're under 18, right? I want you to imagine that there used to be, as women's wrestling goes, this is for all you teeny bopper 14-year-olds I know listen. If they're having 50, 60-year-old women in leotards and spandex desperately trying to do wrestling moves in a ring, and you know instinctively that it's time for you to use the bathroom. Like, you know instinctively, I can't be in the same vicinity. I can't have this match projected at. I can't have Judy Gold and the Fabulous Moolah projected at me anymore. What I need to do is I need to go to the other room and, do something else. That's what women's wrestling used to be when I was growing up. And JD, I'm pretty sure it was the same way when you were growing up. Am I right?
Oh, yeah. It was the Fabulous Moolah, and then we got lucky and got Wendy Richter, but that was about it.
Right. There was Rockin' Robin and Wendy Richter, and the only reason I remember those two is because they were the only two I knew that were under 30. Everybody else, every other women's wrestler until the Jumping Bomb Angels, and the Jumping Bomb Angels, they were like 20-something, I remember. Out of all of them, everybody else was over 60.
Just to think about it, Moolah, when the WWF started back in the early 80s, Moolah was like 50-something, and she had already been champion for about 30 years.
Right, she was champion. A 50-year-old woman who would wear sheer stockings because she desperately wanted to continue to look sexy was the women's champion.
And this was 1985.
1985. 30 years ago, the great Moolah, at 50-something years old, was the women's champion. Okay? For anyone under 18, for anyone under 21, for anyone under 25, for anyone under 30, you can relate. You will never understand. For all those people under 30, you'll never understand what it was like to say that was women's wrestling.
And women's wrestling, by the way, was not what it was.
The only way
today.
No, they weren't fucking doing the shit that they do today. They were literally going through the motions on how to do drag.
Yeah. A women's match, to put it in perspective, a women's match back in the day was hair pull, veal, monkey flip, body slam, maybe a crossbody block for the end, or a suplex or something.
A drop kick.
Yeah,
a drop kick.
The drop kick. Yeah, that was it. That was the end. That was the finish. You do that match today, and we're like, oh my God, you're not giving divas a chance. Blah, 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 blah.
Right.
So to see women's wrestling come, not even full, do a 180 from where it was 30 years ago to hell, even 10 years ago, to see a match like Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks. If this match were on WWE television pay-per-view, they would be. There's no way it would not be their number one match of the year right now. Yeah, so considering where women's wrestling used to be back in the day, seeing a match like this today was just something else. And at first I did not really get Sasha Banks. I was like, all right, she's pretty hot, but I just didn't get her as a wrestler. And over the last 6 months or so, she's had some amazing, amazing matches. The match she did, the 4-way where she won the title against Charlotte, Bayley, and Becky Lynch. Then she had a couple of matches with Charlotte. that were amazing. She's had a match with Becky Lynch, another match with Becky Lynch that was great. She's had matches with Bayley that were great. She's easily the best. If she wasn't a woman, she would be the best wrestler in the WWE right now. But because they're women, they don't count. So
right.
I'm not saying that in a sexist way. I am not saying that in a sexist way. That's just the truth. The WWE, it's been reported that while Triple H and Stephanie want to, have competitive women's matches like they do in NXT on Raw, and apparently Vince McMahon just does not see the merit or money in women wrestling like that. So,
which I totally understand, considering the fact that he's tried it and nobody cared the last time. So, I mean, he used to have wrestlers. Let's not forget. He used to have Gail Kim. He used to have Ivory. He used to have Molly Holly. He used to have she wasn't one to begin with, but she eventually became a great one with Trish Stratus. He had them, and nobody cared. And now that people care, I can certainly see Vince's point of not wanting to have anything to do with it. That being said, Vince is an old man who needs to be told what to do sometimes. And accepting that women are officially wrestlers is one of them. That's a good promo.
Yes.